Hello guys and gals, me Alex, and boy oh boy, this is a video I've been waiting to do for quite a while. Again, I wanted to apologize right off the bat for, having a little, delay on videos. Family matters came up, not a big deal, but I do want to make this video very, very deeply because this is about a game that I've not only loved, but a game that as soon as it came out, it was the first fucking thing I started streaming right off the bat. It just, it tickled me all the way. But ladies and gentlemen, that's enough, sucking the dick of this game. Jurassic World Evolution. Now, for some of you that don't know what this game's about, you ever played Zoo Tycoon? You know, the game that you when you went to Staples or Office Depot or any office appliance store and that software section, and that used to have like Microsoft Word, AOL, I forgot what it was, like AOL messaging or something. Yeah, in that little department. And Zoo Tycoon, that little thing where you saw like the elephant giraffes and all that. Yeah, pretty much this game is you're in charge of a park. You make an income, you do the little missions or whatever it tells you to do, and you essentially develop a zoo/park to pretty much you're the person that runs a theme park. That's really all it comes to. And once you've played one, you've played them all essentially. And all it really is just the only difference between all of them is probably what the genre is. I mean, it's the same platform. It's just different genre of what's in there. I know it's late at night. I'm having a hard time trying to talk, and I really didn't even script any of this out, so I'm kind of going to be all over the place on this video, but bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, essentially with Jurassic World Evolution, as you guessed it, this one has to do with all the dinosaurs. Now, what makes this game a little interesting is there was a game back in 2003, I believe, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Now, what made this game a little bit more different than, like what the current one is, that one was more heavily, you could cheat out the ass on that game. Let's put it that way. You had, the game had little keystrokes where if you hit them all together in, an orderly fashion, it activated a cheat in the game and allowed you like either get money, all the obtainable items that you needed in the game, so pretty much succeed. That was pretty much all there was to it. Or you can practically get everything that you want in the game. Anyway, back when that game came out, it was, like I said, it was part of the whole Zoo Tycoon revolution. Games were pretty much in that heavily genre, right? As Battle Royale is these days. Well, what brought this game back, a lot more nostalgic purpose for me wasn't just bringing the whole concept of dinosaurs or anything. They threw a massive twist, just like the movie, where you get to mess with essentially the whole thing is it has to do with genes, the genetic DNA and all that sort of stuff. What was interesting is you got to screw around with it a lot more, and it gave you the opportunity to you can breed a dinosaur with different hardness of skin, different skin color, how long it can live, all these sorts of things. And each one had, with every good outcome, it lessened the opportunity for it to be bred. And just like regular science, the more things you add to it, it takes a toll with its lifespan and all that sort of stuff. But keeping reality from actuality, this game I think was taken over back on Frontier developers that developed Jurassic World Evolution. So it was a different franchise that took over, and it's nice to see a new interface on the game because it brought a whole new challenge basis. You got new missions. Considering that each mission had a scientist, an entertainment group, and I believe security, it was interesting. Doing all three gave you more opportunity towards different items that you needed. For example, security. Every time you did more security, more experience you got towards security, it upgraded your fences. And let me tell you, for those that don't own this game, fences are really fucking important in this game. Not just to keep the dinosaurs in there. Dinosaurs are constantly breaking the fences. And if I have to say where all your money is going to end up in, it's going to be fencing and security. That's really where most of it all will come down to. Well, mostly fossils and the fences. But even when the developers or the creators of the game, they even flat out said themselves, You want a little tip to the game? Get fucking fences. You're gonna need to invest in a lot of fencing. Dinosaurs like to break out of them. I mean, I would hate to be stuck in a cage all fucking day too. I understand that. But this is a game, for God's sake, so I mean, take it with a grain of salt as you will. But what's more interesting is the money gaining in this game, it isn't so profit heavy like in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. I'm going to be stumbling over words here in a minute, but Operation Genesis allowed you to, it was more profit like based. You needed to gain a lot of profit to pretty much know you're going to succeed through the whole game. Jurassic World Evolution was a little more, you had to spend a lot of money to make back enough to make sure you can, survive. And when I will be straight up honest, when I first started the game, I bankrupt twice. And that's because I didn't know what I was essentially putting my money into. I wasn't really reading everything. I was kind of just too excited, like, oh, I want to see the dinosaurs. I jumped the gun on that, and that was my mistake. But now that I've gotten a little bit more used to it, as you'll see in my streaming footage here, it gave me a little open eye to what the game's about. And there's a few islands. I think it gives you up to 5 islands or so. One of them being a sandbox island, and just like Operation Genesis, yeah, I believe it was called Site B, where you just put down a dinosaur breeder and you just let your dinosaurs run free. They could fight if they wanted to and all that sort of stuff. And that was really it. There wasn't really nothing you can add into it. But the sandbox edition in Jurassic World Evolution was essentially every time you gained a new item, like fences, restaurants, or paths, or new DNA, all that sort of stuff, once you obtained to it in the sandbox edition, you didn't have to spend any money. It was everything you obtained, you could put anywhere on the island to your leisure, to what you want. Basically the dream park that you've always wanted. Now, I must say that's kind of, you don't see that on games very often these days. And like I said, once you've played one of these games, you've kind of played them all at this point. And it's kind of funny to see a game like this actually return back into a market like right now, especially when every fucking thing, and I mean almost fucking everything, is almost Battle Royale. I'm surprised fucking dinosaurs don't have a Battle Royale mode yet. And please don't fucking do that. I beg of you, please don't fucking do that. That's probably God. Now I actually do want to kind of see it. And you know what? That aside from all that, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't want to keep this video going on too long, but I do want to just top off on a few just little last minute things. One thing I must say, and it's not really a problem in the game at all. It's more it's more of a joke than anything. For those that have actually played Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, do you guys actually remember that you can place bathrooms anywhere you'd like? Yeah, you don't get to do that in Jurassic World Evolution. You know why? Fuck if I know why, but what I kind of find interesting? There is no bathrooms for you to charge people $5 to use it. Now that upsets me, because that may have been the funniest thing that game offered. And using restrooms, there's a meter to where people are, how happy they are, if they're enjoying the park. There was a lot more meters. There was a lot of things you needed to pay attention to. In Jurassic World, it pretty much it focused more towards the missionary type of deal than your ranking, essentially. And the ranking, it still plays a toll, don't get me wrong. It doesn't seem like it's a lot more intuitive. People could have loved the park. I mean, no matter what you do, people are, there's always going to be those that like it and some that don't like it. And things overall will be expensive in the game to an average person in real life. I mean, you really want to spend $20 on a fucking keychain? Really? I could probably make one for a penny, if most. Not really, but still, you get the point. But what I really found interesting was the whole money gaining concept in this game was it wasn't like its old predecessor, the Operation Genesis. This one was you spend a lot of money on things that you wouldn't have thought that necessarily. Like I said, the other one was all about the profits. This one is a lot of money spending. Essentially, you spend so much money in research for new buildings, new fences, new dinosaurs, new, all these new diseases, even dinosaurs when they get sick. I mean, you have so many medicines. And I'm pretty sure in Operation Genesis there was too, but still, everything was all like heavily processed. Like everything there's just so much maximum currency in the game. Luckily, I'm in a point where I'm like up past 22 million, and I could pretty much afford every fucking thing I wanted to. But the problem is like everything's on a time limit, and just like the mobile games. I mean, there was not a game essentially like this, but pretty much like the Farmville of Jurassic Park. Essentially, it's like that. You place your dinosaurs down, yeah, you find new DNA, blah blah blah. Like I said, you play one, you play them all essentially. When your dinosaurs are getting you money, you'll have a storm here and there, and it's just that's really all there is to it. And there's really nothing exciting or different. But I will say it is nice to see a game like this return back into the market, which games you don't see like this very often. Mostly these kind of games you find on a mobile device these days, and like I said before, I'm surprised they didn't fucking make this into a battle royale, but luckily for that, they haven't. But ladies and gentlemen, I think I've gone on long enough. I've been all over the place on this video, and frankly, this is like my 80th time recording this. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. This is me, Alex, and I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's video.